In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to develop games in iOS. We'll be covering basics of games and then SpriteKit framework, its advantage and disadvantage, and distinguish between SpriteKit, Cocoa Studio for iPhone, Cocoa Studio X, and Unity. These are the frameworks that are available for developing games. And then we'll be developing sample game using SpriteKit framework. You can create game in iOS using different technologies such as SceneKit, SpriteKit, OpenGL and Metal. SpriteKit framework is a new framework that is used for making 2D games, and this framework has been come from iOS 7 onwards. This framework has sprite support, which means you can provide effects like videos, filters, as well as masking, and also there is integrated physics library and many more features in this SpriteKit framework. The advantage of using SpriteKit is that it is built into iOS, and hence there is no need to download extra libraries, as well as there is no external dependencies, and hence it's much easier to use. It has got built-in tool support for texture atlases and particles. It lets you do something that would be very difficult, almost impossible to do in other framework. For example, treating videos as sprites or applying cool images, effect and mask. So these are possible using SpriteKit framework. The limitation of SpriteKit is that you are restricted to only iOS because this is built into iOS, and hence you cannot move your application to different platforms like Android or Windows, and hence you are locked into iOS. The other limitation is that SpriteKit is in early stages and hence does not have many useful features of other frameworks like Cocoa Studio. It's in beta stage. We expect Xcode 7, which is upcoming, will be having more features in SpriteKit framework. Let's distinguish between SpriteKit, Cocoa Studio for iPhone, Cocoa Studio X and Unity, this framework. Based on below parameters, we can determine which 2D frameworks to be used. If you are beginner or you are completely focused into iOS technology and not interested in porting application on other platforms like Android or Windows, so then go with SpriteKit framework. This is right built into Xcode, and hence very easy to learn. If you want to write your own OpenGL code, then stick with Cocoa Studio, as the new SpriteKit framework does not support this. This might be expected in upcoming Xcode 7 version. If you want your game application to be available on several different platforms like Windows, Android and iOS, then you should choose Cocoa Studio X or Unity. These frameworks are widely used because the advantage of this is that using only single code you can target multiple platforms. Cocoa Studio X is preferred because it's down to wire, built for 2D games, and you can really do anything with it. Also, Unity is preferred because it gives you more flexibility, that is you can add some 3D aspect to your game, and hence most of the games are developed in Unity framework. Now we will be developing sample game application using SpriteKit framework. The game that we are going to develop is a simple spaceship that will be moving from left to right, and several different rockets, the collision particle like asteroids will be moving from right to left. So the only purpose of this game is to avoid the bullets coming from right to left. So we'll be developing these application using SpriteKit framework. Let's begin the application. Click on Xcode. Currently I am using Xcode 6.2. Click on create new project. This will create the project. So choose the template for your project. Since we are going to develop application for mobile as well as iPad, so we are going with iOS. If you are going to develop application for Mac, so then go with OS X. So in application there are several different templates available. We are going to develop game, so select game. Description states that this template provides starting point for games. Click on next. Enter the product name, say, so the product name games SpriteKit. Organization name, that will be by default. Organization identifier, that is reverse domain com.some name. And bundle identifier, that is combination of organization identifier as well as product name. This is the important thing. You will require this thing while uploading the app on App Store. There are two different languages used for developing. The recent language is Swift. We are going to develop application using Objective-C, and like we have learned in presentation, 4 different technologies available, which is SceneKit, SpriteKit, OpenGL and Metal. We are going with SpriteKit. And device, suppose you want to develop application for iPad and iPhone both, so go with universal. If you are targeting only a single device, say iPad, then checkmark iPad. If you are going for iPhone, then select iPhone. Click on next and then choose the location where you want to create. So this will create the application with default settings. So these are the default settings for your SpriteKit game. This is the bundle identifier this organization identifier dot application name.